Hey guys, welcome back. I hope you're doing good today. Well, today I'm going to show you the results of the 13-year-old seeds that I planted a few weeks ago. And I have to say, this really went from, hey, are these seeds going to come up, to really noticing some things about planting older seeds. Things happen that I just don't see when I plant a seed that's a year or two old. I have planted seeds up to 3 years old. And so if you have experience with planting, older seeds, please share it in the comments if you get the same thing as what I'm going to show you here. Now, I want to say up front, I do not believe the results had anything to do with this company. I believe they did a very, very good job of packaging this. The way some of the seeds are double bagged. I think it's just a quality product, and they did a really good job of preserving these seeds, in this can. And I really don't believe the results had anything to do with the way they were stored. I talked to the guy that, gave me these, and he had them stored like you would really want to. They weren't out in the sun, not in the heat. So I don't believe the results had anything to do with how these seeds were handled. So I'm going to go ahead and explain to you, kind of everything I've done. But at the end of this video, I think I got a little bit of advice for a new gardener on what to do with older seeds like these, or, that somebody has given you. Now, if you watch this video and you like it and you find value in it, please consider subscribing. I really would appreciate it. And as always, it is free. So let me tell you what happened over the last couple of weeks. Really would like, comments on if you have experience with what happened here as far as how these came up. And so I planted everything on the same day, and I believe it was 18 or 19 days since I made that video. So I planted 2 rows of champion radishes, and they should have came up in 3 to 10 days. I planted 2 rows of Detroit red beets, and I believe their germination was 5 to 10 days. And then I planted 1 row of romaine lettuce, and it was 7 to 14 days. So we are beyond those germination dates. And so I really tried my best when I planted them to keep them at 1/4 of an inch deep. And I watered them very, very consistently, just about every day. And I did not water real deep, but I did water pretty much every day since I planted them. And so that kind of gives you a background of what has happened, since I planted them. And so I go ahead and we're going to take a look at these, and, I would really like some input on this, because I have some advice that I would like to give, especially to a new gardener, and on planting older seeds. And so please, even disagree, agree with me, please leave a comment. All right, well, let's take a look at these. So I'm going to go ahead and show you the radishes first. And here's the 2 rows. And the plants themselves, they do look good. This one here, he's probably the biggest one I got. And he's doing real good. But you can see, this is one of the things that I want to talk about right here. See, I got this little guy that just come up a day or 2 ago. And so, overall, they came up spotty, and I really did probably put way too many seeds in, thinking that I would just go ahead and thin them out. So that's how the radishes came out. Now, here's how the beets came out. And so this is one row right here. I know it's hard to tell, but there's one beet right there. And then back there, I have a couple beets. I got a beet there, one there. And, you know, they just came up really spotty. You can see, you know, I just got some there and some back there. And so let's move on to the lettuce. Now the lettuce, the only thing I have growing in that row is this and that. And I believe both of them are weeds. So what I want to talk about is, for one, the size difference. You know, you can see some of them beets are pretty big, and I've got a little beet right there. And like I talked about before, this little radish right here compared to that one there. So let me go ahead and explain why I thought this was really kind of unusual. Okay, so here's what I found so interesting about this, but at the same time, the more I thought about it, it's kind of a warning. You know, this could be kind of bad for your garden to do this. So the first thing is, everything that you've seen that come up really late as far as germination dates. You've seen the, you know, the little radish that come up just a few days ago. Well, here it is 18 or 19 days after I made that video. And so that I really found odd. And so what happened was, they should have come up, the radishes should have come up, you know, starting at like day 3. So day 3 comes, and I come running out here. Dude, it is like Hillbilly Christmas. I am not making that up. I want to see these radishes. I am excited. And there was no radishes. And so I wait, you know, day 4, day 5, day 6, no radishes. And I'm thinking, oh my God, they're not going to come up. That's just what it is. They're just too old. Well, then it might have been like day 10, day 11. They finally start coming up a little bit. And now you see the disparity between the big one and the small one. The beets were the same way. So it makes me wonder, maybe that lettuce will come up. You know, we're only, you know, 4 or 5 days after, you know, the latest germination date. So is this something that is inherent with older seeds? Now, I am not talking about, you know, the seeds that didn't come up, because I've had that with new seeds. I think everybody has. What I'm saying is when I go to plant cucumbers or sweet corn in the spring, it all pretty much comes up at the same time. So here's the problem that I have with this, especially with cooler weather seeds like peas, radishes, things like that, that you've got this window here where you really want to get these seeds in, and they need to get a start before it gets hot. You know, lettuce, you know, things like that, that you know, you've just got a window there to plant them. So I plant these radishes, in 5, 6, 7 days they don't come up, and so I get nervous, and I till them under, whatever, and you know, I replant them. The lettuce right there, it's way past 14 days. I till it in, I start over. And so with an older seed, maybe it will come up, maybe it won't, but now I'm losing that time that I need to get that plant established before it gets warm. And so I would not plant an older seed. Now, I am not talking about somebody that really knows how to save seeds. You know, I had a really good comment on that previous video about a gentleman that saves them in the freezer. He says he keeps them 10 years and they're still good. this guy knows this. He is confident that they are going to grow. What I'm talking about is somebody giving you some seeds and you don't know, maybe they haven't been stored right, but if you don't know how old they are, you don't know how they've been taken care of, I would not pin my harvest to this. You know, you could end up very well being disappointed. And so for that reason, just because of the disparity in the sizes and how long it took for them to come up, I'm probably not going to take any of these seeds and put them in my garden next spring, just because it's just too big of a risk for them to not come up. And so I guess that's my advice, especially to a new gardener. Make sure you know where your seeds are coming from. Even if somebody says they're good, you know, just be careful, because, you know, your harvest might depend on this. Well, that's the video, and please share in the comments if you've got experience with planting older seeds. I'd love to hear it. And you know, other than that, you guys, you have a good night, and I'll talk to you later. See ya.